Hi all, I'm Nahuel Ares, a professional chef and pastry expert, and today we're preparing the ultimate brownie. First, we'll discuss pan preparation. Here I have a glass mold. It can be aluminum, iron, whatever you have. What I have here is lard that is neither melted nor softened. What we are doing here is completely covering with lard. It is essential that the mold is 100% covered and we leave no empty space because there the mixture can stick and the whole brownie can break when we unmold it. If you leave a part without lard in this mold, it is most likely that a piece of brownie will stick to it. But when you unmold it and turn it over, a piece of brownie like this will come out. Now we would move on to the part of putting the parchment paper. What I did with this parchment paper was to cut it so that it is very neat and does not generate wrinkles or any kind of imperfection that could make our brownie stick. We try to stick it well so that there are no wrinkles. And now we go with the top part, one more layer of butter to secure and eliminate all kinds of wrinkles and non-stick parts. If you don't have paper in the corners, it's okay. The important thing is that you put a good amount of butter. If your oven has a fan, it's likely to cause movement inside, potentially dropping a vector into the brownie. So you can put some little hooks, or like me, who is going to put a little bit of paper tape. Now we put this in the fridge and return when the mix is ready. Well, now what we're going to do is the chocolate ganache, which is the most important part of our brownies as it's where all the flavor is. Here we have chocolate, coating, semi-bitter, butter and coffee. We'll now form an emulsion using a double boiler. Chocolate coating, as in this instance, is a superior chocolate due to its high cocoa butter content. This cocoa butter that the chocolate has melts in the mouth, it gives smoothness to the brownies. It gives them a super silky texture that a pastry bath does not provide. I chose coffee because it helps to greatly enhance the flavor of the chocolate. The brownie is not going to taste like coffee, but it will enhance very well with the chocolate since they are two flavors that go very well together. We take this to the heat, we put the butter, we have already thrown the coffee. This is going to melt. There is a struggle with the whole issue of the bain-marie that they say that it does not touch the water. Well, if it does not touch the water, you ensure that the preparation does not burn, in this case the chocolate, especially if we are working with coating. It is very sensitive to temperatures. Therefore, if you are going to make it touch the water, it will be faster, the heat will be faster, and nothing. Make sure to be stirring constantly so that the chocolate does not burn. Little by little you start to smell the chocolate, the butter, the coffee. You don't really understand the smell that comes. You don't smell either coffee or chocolate. It's like a mix that works very well. If you feel that there is too much heat here, the chocolate can burn. You lift it, stir well. Look, you have to be very careful not to burn it. When the chocolate burns, you start to realize, because it starts to become more lumpy, you start to see like little balls of chocolate that do not dissolve. And when you touch them, they are hard. This is the burnt chocolate. We have the chocolate with butter and melted coffee already prepared here. Look at the texture it has. It's liquid. Well, here we have sugar, common white, brown sugar and eggs. I chose brown sugar because it's not only going to add a little bit of moisture to the brownie, but it's also going to give a greater complexity to the flavor. Well, here we have the eggs with a bowl. I do it in a separate bowl so that later we don't get comments that it can be contaminated, that there could be a rotten egg. We're breaking them down one at a time. Well, we have 6 eggs and we're going to add 430 grams of regular white sugar and 100 grams of brown sugar. Now what we're going to do is beat these sugars with the eggs. It's going to look like a pancake mix. We add it little by little. And then yes, we start to give it. We scrape all the sugar off the edges. Everything is fully integrated. When eggs are beaten, different chemical and physical reactions occur. For example, the incorporation of air, which is going to create those little bubbles that are generated with the beating. And those bubbles are going to help us a lot with the texture of the brownie, making it more airy, more silky. You see how it starts to take on a bit of body. The mixture starts to turn whiter. We're also going to beat this while it's in a bain-marie, not only so the egg doesn't curdle, but also to help with the incorporation of air, since that temperature is going to be useful, and it's not only going to dissolve those crystals that we need. And well, now what we're going to do is add the chocolate ganache that we made earlier. We're going to add it while beating. Why is it important that we add it while beating and don't stop beating? Because the lipids, that is the fats that this egg has, are going to integrate and emulsify perfectly with the fats that the chocolate and butter have, and well, everything we have there. Well, we already have the chocolate here, but before that, we're going to preheat the oven now, since in about 10-15 minutes, we should be putting it in the oven. I set it to 180 degrees, 190. You always set it a little bit higher than the temperature you're going to cook at, since when you open it, that temperature goes out and then it adjusts. Well, and we start adding the chocolate while beating. We add a portion, ensuring to match densities, and proceed. And now that we have all the air here, we're going to quickly start adding the dry ingredients. Well, here we have 4-0 flour, always 4-0, and over here we have cocoa powder. We're going to sift them up. It's crucial to sift them. We can't skip this step because not only do we avoid any kind of lump or imperfection that the flour may have, but also sifting it aerates it and gives our brownies a more fluffy and airy texture. We combine the flour and cocoa. Well, and quickly what we have to do is these dry ingredients, pour them in 2 parts. We are going to do it to equalize the densities and with the folding movement, which is from the center to one side. And we keep turning it and we wrap it very slowly. So all the air that we have been forming, we don't lose it. And we see that it integrates a little bit. There we already throw the second part. There it is practically integrated. It lacks a little bit and we are going to pour the mixture. A little bit of mixture may remain in the bowl. It's okay. The important thing is that it has height. In this case, we have put about 2 centimeters, a little more mixture. Well, now what we are going to do is add in our case chopped chocolate coating. We are going to distribute them evenly so that in each portion there is a piece of chocolate. This is never too much, so you put it without disgust. Now what I am going to do is put a little more of this leftover mixture to finish covering, and that they are well inside, and that in the oven the chocolate does not burn. Well, and this as you have it in the oven preheated to 180 degrees for approximately 20 minutes. Here what we did was 20 minutes of cooking. Then take the brownie out of the oven to hit against the table. Yeah. What is the purpose of breaking this crust? To give it space to let in more air, more temperature, and not be a thin little crust, but to be a little thicker and crunchier. That's how we're going to break it a little. See how it cracks. You can see the pieces of chocolate coating. Well, and now with the crust like this, they go back in the oven for about another 20-25 minutes. How do you know when it's ready? If you're going to stick a stick into this, it's going to come out super moist, and you're going to say it's very raw. You're probably going to leave it for 15 more minutes until it comes out dry, and then you're going to eat a rock. We don't want that. We want the brownie to be moist, to be at the temperature it needs to be, sweetheart, to be good. So how do I particularly realize it? I hit it with my hand. I put my hand on top and touch to see the thickness of the crust. If it doesn't resist much, it's very soft. It still needs more, and you leave it a little longer. If you see that it resists and has a hard little crust, it's ready to come out. As I saw that it still needs a little more. We're going to leave it a little longer, and we're going to open the oven door, and the residual heat of the oven will finish cooking it the way we want it. Now we'll unmold our brownie, similar to a potato tortilla. Simple. You can't doubt. From there you gave it, and there you can see how it fell. It hit perfectly. It came off. We took out the amount of butter. On top you can smell the scent like toasted nuts. And see what we did. The chocolate is very intense. The coffee adds a flavor to the chocolate that is very hard to describe with words. The strawberry with the cream. Well, that besides a 10, the chunks of coating chocolate that we add they give you a good chocolate slap. This was the best brownie of your life if you liked it. Give it a like and comment what other recipes you want to see in Umami. Don't forget to subscribe too. Thank you.